Hello.
Muted. I always forget to unmute after switching scenes. Hi everyone, welcome to VTubers vs. Reality Season 1 Episode 4 with the lovely Sunny here. Just gonna re-go over the rules and regulations for the stream so that everyone remembers. And I will do exclamation mark FAQ, exclamation mark talk show. Just a reminder that I will not be thanking followers, subscribers, and other things like that. The only thing I will be acknowledging are raids until the end of stream. We want to be focused here on Sunny, who is a wonderful content creator, and the focus of this talk show is to talk to creators like myself and others who either go to school, work, or do content creation, all at the same time. So with that, Sunny, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone. So I'm Sunny Calico. I'm a cozy kind of like streamer. I only recently started and my body is implied, as you can see from the screen. Sorry.
No, it's funny because I don't want to move it because then it just looks like there's no body and it's weird.
Yeah, I'm on the floor. So I'm a cat.
Oh my god, I love that.
So it's already it's in character. What can I say?
Oh my god, I love that though. All right, so I guess we'll start with the first question of, you said your name, but what are your pronouns and how old are you?
So my pronouns are she, her, and I'm actually very close to my mid-20s. That's how old I am.
Oh, I'm 20, so we're good. All right then, so let's get this started, shall we? When did you start streaming, and when did you decide you wanted to become a VTuber, and why?
Okay, so I can tell you the exact date that I started streaming. I started streaming at July 22, 2023. It's this year basically, and
Oh,
it's
wow.
been like...
Wait, you said that's July. That's actually when my affiliate anniversary is. Oh my god, I love that.
Twinsies. Yeah, that's when I started streaming, and when I kind of decided to start becoming a VTuber, it was I think around May 2023. I don't know why I keep saying the date. It's around May of this year, and it was just because I was kind of curious about streaming because my boyfriend used to be a streamer, and he stopped now. He was a very casual streamer, and he touches grass now, so he has no time for streaming.
Oh, I feel that.
So, but at the time, I think he kind of was like, I kind of needed more of a hobby, and I thought, okay, I do some stuff, but I need something else that's kind of might allow me to be creative, and maybe give me some freedom to kind of talk to people as well, kind of beyond just the people that I'm with in real life. It's just because I'm now in a situation where maybe a lot of people probably know this is that when you're after college, sometimes your college friends move away. You have high school friends that also move away, and then so you're kind of on your own. And I live, I unfortunately, I'm one of those people that ended up staying. I'm not saying it's unfortunate. I'm very lucky, if anything, but I I kind of lived with my parents because I worked from home too. So I was like, okay, I need to meet new people somehow too, and it's hard to do it sometimes in a small town, and it can take time too. So I was just like, okay, let's try streaming because that fulfills a couple of things: the creativity part and the part where maybe I get to talk to people, not even in chat. I mean, knowing people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason why. And I didn't realize that VTubers were a thing until quite recently, and it was only because my favorite content creator, his name is RT Game. He's an Irish streamer.
I think I've heard of him.
Oh, you have? Yeah, no, he's great. He's funny. He's I think he's one of those people that I really look up to for ideas, or just how do you conduct yourself when you're streaming.
Right.
And yeah, and he had a podcast with Vax Akruma from Niji Sanji. Didn't know who Vax Akruma was, by the way. Didn't understand why there was a PNG of a man talking. But I was so I think he was doing Vox Atoma was doing like the podcast thing, and
Oh.
I remember that was the very first time I was so invested, and I was like, wait, I really like this. Like, who is this person? Not RTJ, but Vox Atoma.
Yeah.
And from there, realizing that like VTubers are a thing, and therefore, I I realized that that's kind of like a good halfway point between not having a face cam and showing your face. So yeah,
Yeah.
like, mhm.
I totally get that. I also. Why are there people running upstairs? Okay. Um. Yeah, I totally get that, especially with COVID hitting everyone super hard and it being like really hard to even go outside and like socialize with people because like you weren't allowed to by law. You know, that made things a little more difficult the last few years to like even do anything. So the fact that content creation was there for so many different people, whether they stayed or not, it was just an incredible thing that you could like make friends like that and are able to just, you know, vibe. So I love the reasoning behind that. That's super cool.
Yeah. Like, it's nice, and, like, I didn't think that, like, streaming could be such a positive thing. Like, it was honestly gonna go either way. Like, it was either gonna be, like, the worst thing that's ever it might not have been, like, the best experience, but so far it's been fun.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and I think that I like VTubing just for, like, the because you can be a little bit more anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
Like to be fair, you can never be fully anonymous online, but
Yeah.
I don't have to show my face, I don't have to, use my name,
I
you
don't
know
have
what
to
I
show my
mean? Like,
messy room.
yeah, exactly. I don't have to, like, put on makeup for, like, the stream, because 'cause I've seen that before with, like, female content creators. If they're streaming, they would put on makeup for streams, and I was like, "You do that?" Like
Oh
like, I
yeah.
get
And they also have all the lights on them and like having to have good lighting in a room. Me just like in the darkness with like a sickeningly pale face from my computer screen. Yes.
yeah,
You think I
that's
have
kinda
light
like
in my room? No.
exactly, and that's kinda like the reason another reason why it was just because, like, you are I put this in air quotes, "presentable already" if you're a VTuber. Like, my
Mm-hmm.
room is immaculate, and I look pretty, with my avatar, I guess, if you
Yeah.
think of it that way.
No, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Like, I just have to turn on VTube Studio and bam, it's there. I don't gotta do anything else.
Exactly.
I mean, sure, I gotta move around a bit and like blink and talk, but like, that's all what I do. No one needs to see my terrible shrimp posture or like me with my legs both up on the desk, controller like in between my thighs. Like, that's how I sit. And it's just like, I'm pretty sure my dad walked in on me once sitting like that, didn't know I was live, and he went, "Why are you sitting with your feet up on the desk like a freaking cat?" And I'm like, "Because I can."
Yeah,
Which is
that's why.
let me sit how I want in a weird posture and nobody will ever know.
Exactly, like, I might get reminded, but,
My bad posture shows. Look, I have terrible posture, but when I need to, I can sit up straight.
Stanced up like, ugh, like you're a puppet, like someone has, like, a
Literally.
string on top of you.
Literally. All right, so next question. Do do. Who is someone that inspires you, whether it be for VTubing or just IRL?
Mm, so I think, like, for VTubing, like, I can kinda think of a couple people, like, I think a lot of the people that I've been surrounded with, like, for example, just, like, the Blizzard Boys server, there's people
Mm-hmm.
like, um who do I watch in? Like, I watch Chalka, like, he's, like, a German, VTuber. I ended up coming across him, and I think, like, he kind of ended up I don't know, like, why he inspired me, but I just kinda like the way he's able to kinda, like, conduct himself really well on stream, and, like,
Mm-hmm.
being and, like, I've taught them in, real life, and he has always something kinda, like, good I think he has a very good perspective on, like, content creation,
Right.
and he keeps me inspired and grounded. So he's, like, one of those people, like, I think a lot of the people from, like, that surrounded me, like, like my friends, like, there's one, her name is, Zuni, as
Mm-hmm.
Zunnieh. She is another content creator, I think from Europe, and, like, I was kind of inspired by her streams because she's very like bubbly and like very nice on it.
Aw.
And yeah, she's very sweet and I love like hanging out in her streams. And like I think she was probably the inspiration, another inspiration as well, like for me to actually just like genuinely get started on this thing was just seeing her and then seeing her have fun and like just having this very chill vibe that she's able to just exude. She's so cool. Like,
Mm-hmm. I love that.
and yeah, like honestly, the people that have been influences have been the people kind of have been around me. And because again, I suppose it's just a proximity thing as well. Um, like because I see them and I kind of go into their streams and and it's nice to be able to kind of like see like and learn from these people, even if they're small. Like you can learn from everyone regardless of their experience because sometimes like people who are new, have like I suppose a fresher perspective on stuff like streaming
Yeah.
and they're not like limited by like, oh my god, what about this or that.
I think I agree with that. Also, I like uh talking to smaller creators personally. There's nothing wrong with bigger creators. However, I feel that if they have a slower chat, you get to know them better before they like get bigger so that you like get to hang out with them more. Cuz content creators are there to entertain us, and when they're streaming, it's a little hard for them to reply to everyone, and I understand that. So that's why I prefer slower moving chats, just
Mhm.
because it's so much easier to talk to them and hang out with them and get to know them and learn about them as a person. Not
Mhm.
in a creepy way, I swear.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like being able to be in slower moving chats also kind of mean that like you kind of can learn from them and how they talk. Like, like how do they talk on, you know, while the chat is quiet is like a good way to like learn like, okay, what can I incorporate, when chat is quiet for me too.
Right.
So I kind of like, yeah. So I think a lot of like smaller creators, like people I just know, like do inspire me. Bigger ones, like I said before, RT Game, he was kind of like, I think I've just been like subscribed to his YouTube channel for ages, and like I think like I kind of really enjoy. I think he's very like grounded and just kind of but he's very grounded, like he knows when to like say something to his chat when when he's not happy with something.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like the way he's very chaotic and
Right.
s- and like in the way he like plays, and something that I genuinely admire, and I don't know how he did it, but I think because he's very good at standing up for himself when he's not happy with something, but his audience is so chill. It's not like you see other content creators and they cultivate a very like not great community to be in, whatever that might be. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like, and then
Yeah.
his community is so nice and very coordinated and very smart. Like, it's such a weird. He played like a game where chat was able to control like um his Pokemon game or something like that for like a minute, and it kept swapping between streamer and like the chat. And
Oh, I love those crowd control games.
yeah, it was like the crowd control game, and he won the game. Like he was doing a race against like these other big creators. But like I remember just thinking like I would love a chat that is that coordinated, that smart, but it's just a chill and but also simultaneously really chill. So I think that he just kind of served as that like inspiration and not to be afraid to break games.
Mm-hmm. I love that. That's such a sweet inspiration. I think that having that kind of inspiration just is so positive and so not like weird that I love that. I love that a lot. Alright, so the next question. What kind of content do you make?
So I do a lot of like streaming kind of content so far. Like a lot of my content is in and around like kind of like it's in the realm of like, the comfy, the chill,
Mm-hmm.
the cozy. So that's kind of like the kind of content that I make in general. Like it's kind of one of those things that you can kind of like put on the background to relax to. I'm not a very ragey person, nor am I very loud, I think. So that's kind of like that's what I think the kind of content that I make anyway. It's
Mm-hmm.
like very yeah.
No, that's valid. I love that. But so what do? You just play games or?
Yes, I just kind of like play games. Like I'm very much focused on like Stardew Valley, but I have also played Slay the Spire sometimes.
Ooh, that's
Um,
fun.
yeah, Slay the Spire is really fun. Like I love card games, and I like those. Um, I just like those kind of like strategy kind of like games. So like it's either cozy games or maybe like card games with you can use your brain cells.
That's valid. I love that. All right. So next question: how many hours a week do you put into work or into your schooling?
So I am out of school now, but I do your typical 35 hours a week of work. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Just depends on like how busy like the work is. But like so I have done overtime before, but I don't recommend it. And it's actually not great for me because like what I learned was that it causes me a lot of like stress and anxiety to do over a lot of overtime over long periods of time. So I'm trying to, put boundaries between myself and my work. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I get that. All right.
yeah.
So, what did you study when you were in school?
So like yeah, so I studied economics.
Oh, that
Um
sounds complicated. Sounds like a lot of math.
I'm not good at math. You know what's funny? I'm not even good at math and I still took economics.
Bro, I am not good at math either.
But that's my bachelor's. I did a master's as well.
Ooh,
Um
fancy.
yeah, it was during COVID. It was just because like I was graduating into COVID. And
Mm-hmm.
what had happened was that a lot of people had like either could not find jobs or had their offers rescinded. So at the time my parents were kind of like, maybe you should just do a master's. So you have that in your back pocket. It's not like usually people do their masters like a good few years in after, um like
Right.
after like their work, but like for me I literally like just did it like straight after.
Yeah, I mean that was really smart. For me, I graduated when COVID. I was in school, high school, so it was a bit different for me. And then eventually I went to college. We had to wear masks and stuff, but it was
Mhm.
survivable, so I ended up I'm still in college. I'm on my third year out of four, so yeah, I
Oh
totally get.
wow.
Yeah, I have my associate's degree and I'm getting my bachelor's and then going from there. So I totally get the just going for another degree because there's literally nothing else you could do.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like what drove me mad about the whole thing with doing my masters was like it was the reason I landed my first job.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a friend who did, I think she did a dual degree, economics and politics or something.
Yeah.
It took her 2 years to get her first job. And I was like, oh my God, is it now coming to a point where you need a master's in
Yeah.
order to get your first job? Because a master's is very expensive and like it took a lot of money, but I suppose in the end it was worth it because I got something and I think people seem impressed when I say that I have a master's, like for jobs and stuff. But
Yeah, it's a master's degree is super big, but having a bachelor's is also if you have the right resume and have like internships in previous jobs, you'll be pretty okay too.
oh, I agree. Yeah, like I had no internship, so like, I think that what's kind of like held me back. So I think like I needed a little bit of a boost, let's
Mm-hmm.
say. But yeah, I'm not condoning. I'm not encouraging people if you want to go for a master's. Very expensive, but like it could be just depends. I think on your like degree or in your role or what you want to go for. So
Right.
yeah.
I totally get that. For me, my degree is not. Oh, thank you for the follow, some person. Why is it so off? The audio sounds like so fucked. I can't even figure out why it does that. It just sounds. I tried like removing it. It just sounds so weird. I need to. I need to turn that off. Like it's creeping me out.
It's okay. I know with my alerts, there was a point where for some reason the sound echoed for me and like it doubled and it drove me nuts until I realized that you have to really turn off every other alert for it to be just the one alert, which I don't know, it just drove me nuts
I
when I was
just
like,
literally removed all of my alert sounds on my Pixel chat. It is supposed to be a thunderstorm sound, but it's like on my end, I don't know if it's my like headphones being weird, but it just sounded fucky wucky. I was like, nope, it's going away for now. I'll figure it out later.
oh yeah, no, go for it. No, figure it out later.
Yeah. All right.
Techno.
So, what kind of job do you have currently?
Um, I currently just have like a normal like office job. I work from home though, just to be vague. It's just
Oh
because
yeah,
like,
go ahead and be
yeah,
vague. Like I specifically like am totally chill with people being super vague when it comes to their jobs, which is valid.
yeah, just in case because like you'd be surprised at like what you can give away about yourself. But anyway,
Yeah. So what's your dream job or profession?
I don't have a particular dream job or profession to be honest, but like it's still I'm still in the process of figuring it out. But I've thought about like I would love like a job maybe in like that has like lots of writing involved and like
Mm-hmm.
just being creative, and also maybe a job in the games industry. That's something that I'm genuinely like aiming for.
That sounds really cool. Excuse me.
Bless
I am
you.
so sorry.
No, you're fine.
That sounds really cool, actually. I love that kind. I love that people like sometimes have like a genuine idea of what they want to do, and that's like super cool.
Maybe one day that'll be me.
I mean, I know what I want to do, but it took me like 6 years to figure it out.
It does happen like that. Like you'd be surprised. I think it just depends. Like, some people just know, and then some people, to be fair, like it's common nowadays to switch between careers. It's not unheard of.
Oh yeah, a lot of people actually now will switch every like 2 years to a different job just because it gets them more money if they can.
Oh, no, that's a good strategy as well because you can never rely on like your company to ever like compensate you fully,
Mm-hmm.
So like if like I think it's smart when people move, every 2 to 3 years because like companies, they change over time too. And like like I always someone told me this advice about careers and it was like you can only look out for yourself. So like he told me never to be afraid to move on if something's not serving them. So yeah,
Yeah, I totally
giving
get
that
that.
giving that for free, chat.
um, how do you deal with managing surprises or surprise shifts or things that you have to do for work when it comes to like streaming and your content creation?
With matching surprises, like I'm kind of lucky that because I'm working the normal 35 hours, it's
Mm-hmm.
there's not that many surprises. So like if I do have, let's say, to do overtime, I do I put like a hard stop at like a certain hour of
Mm-hmm.
the day. So like I might only spend like another extra hour at work or or two, unless like and to be honest, it's just getting my work done, before the day ends. So it doesn't get in the way of like when I stream. Like it's not that kind of job where, unless they really need it, which I think doesn't happen that often. Um, you know, I just tried to put like very hard stop, like very, very, very like hard boundary between myself and at work. It's also just because to take care of myself, really.
Yeah.
Like not even for streaming, just taking care of myself.
No, that's totally valid. Mental health and physical health is extremely important when it comes to content creation because if you're not enjoying yourself while you're streaming, no one's gonna want to watch you. It's just not fun.
I agree. Like honestly, like that I'm conscious that sometimes like you have to be in a good place to kind of stream, to be your best at streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And no one wants to watch someone be very negative, I suppose, in their own
Yeah.
stream,
Unless
you
it's like,
know?
rage gaming where it's
Oh,
funny.
yeah. Oh,
But
yeah, yeah.
but like if it's like you're constantly like, oh, they didn't follow me, and oh, I'm always losing followers, and oh, this sucks. Y'all don't subscribe or give me money. That no one's gonna want to watch that. It's just so toxic. And like,
Yeah. Like, you can't well, we can talk about it later because I know you had a question about, advice.
yes, yes, we'll discuss the rest of that later. um, so I guess the next question is, how do you balance your work and personal life on top of being a content creator?
So in my case, I'm starting to learn to plan ahead.
Mm-hmm.
So like knowing that okay, like I'm streaming this day and this day, or I have something on this day at this hour. Okay, let's make sure that like I have like I wouldn't say that I plan everything around it, but just knowing that what I have to do for this week for content creation, and then working backwards to kind of like go, okay, let me just fit in like meeting with my friend, or let me fit in like um like going to like the circuits class or my Pilates class,
Mm-hmm.
like and also just actually like having it's not like an official rule in my head, but something that I'm kind of noticing is that I am kind of like strict where I'm like Monday, Tuesdays, I don't do anything related to content creation. I just
Right.
do like, this is just the time for me just to chill and like hang out. And like I'm still active in Discord, I guess, but like
Yeah.
but it's I just know that, okay, this is the time for me to just relax and, like, not think
Mm-hmm.
about streaming or, like, okay, what's the next, like, clip that I have to do and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that. For me, I always have Mondays and Tuesdays off because I have classes that end decently late in the afternoon, and by the time I
Mhm.
get home, it's just not worth. It's just not worth it. Like I can't. I'll be up till midnight streaming because I am just too tired, and I also wouldn't be fun to watch. So I normally stream Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday while alternating
Mhm.
platforms because I like having. I'm trying out V stream. So yeah, but taking care of yourself and having days where you just don't do anything, maybe it's just like homework or some work stuff, is the perfect balance in my opinion when it comes to content creation.
Yeah, because I think what will happen to you is that you'll burn yourself out if
Mm-hmm.
you just do content creation. You have to touch grass. You have to
You
be
need to
just
go outside,
yeah, go outside, breathe in some fresh air, like like sniffing like the oxygen.
right?
So,
Go
yeah, I think
outside, be one with my friends of the fish.
yeah, exactly.
I mean,
S
I literally did that last week on Monday. That's how. But the first lab of the semester went was here's a canoe. I'm flipping your canoe. You don't have a choice.
Oh,
Oh,
no. That sounds fun, though.
well, I
I
have a
never
huge bruise on my leg, so it was fun. But what happens is I'm non binary, but I am biologically female, so I'm very
Mhm,
thin compared to all of the other men in my class.
mhm.
So they're all like, upwards of 170 muscular dudes, and I'm just like, ah. And to get back into a canoe, it requires you to counterbalance their weight while they crawl in, or vice versa. I'm
Mhm.
too light to counterbalance their weight, so they just have to throw me back into the canoe.
Oh my god.
It was
No.
so bad. I got a huge bruise on my leg, and I think somebody thought I was like being harmed. I'm like, no, 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 I was in a canoe. Like, somebody told me, have you seen the Coward's Lake Center? I went, I'm fine. It was so bad. I was like, because they were all over my legs because I was like climbing back into the boat. So
Yeah, yeah. Oof,
it
oof.
was a bit, like, oh, maybe I should,
I like
Har
the way, like, they no, you're fine because I like the way that they were just like, "You know what? Like, you had to be the sacrifice. You had to be the one."
Yeah. Well, I'm the only feminine figure, so like I'm the lightest one, and also all of us had our canoes tipped. It was just even paired with the skinniest guy in the class, I was just too light compared to them. I also lost 10 pounds this summer because I was exercising so much by running a summer camp that
Mhm.
instead of being 140, I'm like 125, 130 pounds, and they're like 170, 180. So it's like, oh. So
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
All
That's
right. Now, I
mhm,
did have a quick question. It's not on the list if you don't mind me asking. You said
mhm,
that you were in college during COVID. Were you like
mhm.
fully online? How did that work?
Oh my god, I was fully online. Can I tell you something about my
Yes, go
time?
ahead.
So so I was finishing up my bachelor's in economics
Mm-hmm.
when COVID hit, like literally the very last semester. And
Right.
so what had happened was that, okay, I did my master's. By the way, my master's is in business management. If you guys are curious, because I said the one thing, so I might as well say the other. And it was fully online. And when I was in school, I was a student journalist. So
Right.
what ha-
Wow.
I was a student journalist, and I found out that my school was making my so basically like my master's is like from a separate business school
Mm-hmm.
in my country. And so they were making promises to the international students about how they were actually going back to class. And
Oh.
I found out that they were lying. And I was
Oh.
being like, I wish it's annoying because like I have that article, I still have that article, and it was the front page of like the school newspaper, and I I would link it, and then it has my real name, and you guys will know everything about me. But
No, don't worry about it. We wouldn't ask you that. But that's just I feel like that's so awful.
yeah, like they kept promising stuff, and like it just never like materialized. Like I just could not. Like it was very annoying because I paid a lot of money and I was online the entire time. So
Yeah, I would be kind of pissed too. Like if you paid that much, I think that I feel like they should have. I hope they didn't like charge you for like room and board and shit.
oh no, 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 no. I like my plan to like my plan as well was to actually just commute up and down.
Mm-hmm.
But for those students, for the international students there, they were being charged room and board on top of like
That's
ex
so cruel. What the
isn't it?
fuck? Like, I would think I would have like been like, no. Like this is a global emergency, and you think you could just fucking charge me $1 bajillion to live here in a box?
Not only that, but they were being because they were international, they were being charged way more than the
Right.
local students. So like I felt very sorry for them because you
And
know
they couldn't travel home because of fucking COVID.
exactly. They couldn't travel home. There were people who actually uprooted themselves basically because their intention also was to live and work there or
Mm-hmm.
in my country. And yeah, like I remember like
That's awful. I feel so bad for those people.
I felt really bad for them because having a chat with them, you know, they were saying about how there was one guy who he said like he had it always stuck out to me for some reason. I think he was my friend but at the time, but
Right.
he had like sold his car and stuff like that just to be able to pay for like to move over here. And they were like
Jesus.
some of them had parents taking out big loans so they can also move there and study there because the fees were very high. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awful. I genuinely hope that I genuinely sorry. Someone just sent
You're
me
fine.
a funny message. My previous person who was on earlier was like, "What does stream prep look like for you, pizza rolls?" No, I totally feel so bad for them. So during COVID, I was in high school. It started like at the end of my like junior year of high school, I believe. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So I was, I mean, I was like, oh, damn, this is, wow. And so basically, I was studying in online, and we didn't really have like online classes or anything. It was more so just,
Mm-hmm.
it was really weird, honestly. We didn't like, it was just here's a random assignment maybe once or twice, and that was it. It was because they didn't know what to do with us, and we didn't have finals, and I actually we didn't have any sort of tests, nothing, no state testing if you had to take that, because up until
Mm-hmm.
8th grade you're supposed to take state testing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was weird and awkward and all this other stuff. And then basically then my senior year was all online, and I only went to school for 1 month in person, and that's only because I begged my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was like, please, I want to go in for my last fucking semester. Please, please. And they were like, okay. And then I went in for 1 month, and we didn't have any of our stuff. We didn't have our senior trip. We didn't have our we only had prom. That was it. So like
Yeah.
It was a lot. And so they actually were gonna have our graduation at a baseball field, like
Mhm.
a local one, like for the minor league, and it was like gonna be huge, so like all your family members could come and safely, um, you know, self distance from each other, as well as it was gonna be like, oh, cool, 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 cool. You can have your name on the board. Your parents can custom make an announcement for you. Then
Mhm.
that they didn't ask the students. They only asked the parents what they wanted,
Mhm.
and the parents voted for having it at the school. And every single kid did not talk to their parents for like a month. They were like, "Fuck you. We wanted it at the stadium. Fuck you." And it was like so funny because every parent would be like, "Have a nice day," and the kids were like just like giving the parents the middle finger, and like every kid, I think the kids, we all, like, some of them even like walked out of the classes and like were like, "I don't want to do this anymore. I want my graduation here." And people were so mad, and it was just, I also was pissed. I was like, why'd you ask our parents and not us? Like, we're the graduates, not them. It was so bad. So
Oh,
I
wow.
relate to that, you know? I feel
Mhm.
so bad for all of these people who had to suffer through COVID, and I hope that they got their money back.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the dude. I think a couple of them now have like jobs now, which is great. I see them on LinkedIn,
Oh, that's
and they're
good.
managers. They're managers, so I'm like, at least I hope that it paid out for them. So.
Yeah, me too. Alright, so here is the next question. What is something that you want to do currently but can't because you are working full time?
Um, so I think one of the biggest things is just collabs. Collabs,
Mmm,
because like if you're two working adults, how do you find the time between yourselves to even, like meet up and like play a game for a couple hours?
right,
And time zones are an issue for me at the moment because I know a lot of creators from North America,
right.
and I'm like, and then I see them, and then like I see them stream at like 2 a.m. and I'm like, I want to support you and I want to like play games with you, but like 2 a.m.
It's 2 a.m., go back to sleep. I also
So
struggle with that so much, so I feel that. You're not alone there.
yeah, because like I do want to like just do more of them, and like I'd love to get to know people that way,
Mm-hmm.
but it's hard, and because like just time zones and time constraints. And another thing is like doing content creation in a way. I'm talking about like making like the little videos for YouTube,
Right,
TikTok, Instagram Reels, or whatever. You know, it's kind of tough because like you have to sit down and like take the time to learn how to do it,
right,
and that can take a while, depending on you and how you are as a learner.
right.
And it can be pricey as well. Because I would
Mm-hmm.
be happy to hire someone, but at the same time it's like I don't if you think about it, you need to keep the content creation going over and over and over. Like you cannot like just do once and then
Right.
like that's it.
And that's it.
So
That's not gonna make you money.
yeah, exactly. And like if you're already like a VTuber and operating at a loss, I think
It's not
it can
worth
be,
it even, honestly.
yeah, like you might as well just do it yourself. But at the same time, if you're stuffed, if you don't have,
Right.
like good editing, then well, I suppose on the other hand, it's better to just do something. But yeah, like I would love to do more of it, but it's just the time and like money because I can't really hire someone at the moment. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's all. I had a wonderful editor, but I just couldn't afford to keep paying her over and over, and I just felt so bad. And so I was honest with her. I told her right now I can't pay you. You know, I paid her for whatever I could, but then I started doing stuff on my own because
Hmm.
I was like, I have to do it on my own. I can't do this anymore. And so it became super cool that like people were like finding my stuff on YouTube interesting, so I would just take clips and just put them into a thing that on like a website that did it itself, and that was it. Like,
Hmm.
I didn't like, it wasn't like I was like putting like subtitles or huge amounts of effort or anything. It was just, oh, okay. That was,
Yeah.
like at that point, like editing becomes a hassle, and I feel like unless you're gonna blow up on Twitter, on YouTube, it is not worth editing full videos at the moment. That's my personal thing about it.
Mhm. I think for me, like, I get it's just yeah, I think it's just, like, the effort and the time, and then, like, versus what you can get out of it. It will take time to edit, like, to do a good edit or, like, do a good thumbnail and stuff like that, so, yeah,
Right.
it's rough because, like, nowadays, I think the bar is a lot higher for content creation. You can't just come in and, like I suppose you could still be a bit stuffed, but a lot of the time I see content creators with, like they have subtitles and, like, quick and easy like, the quick, like, edits and, like, the meme edits and stuff like that, and I'm like, "How do y'all do it? Where do you get the time?"
Yeah, no, I just use there's actually a website you could use if you want to pay like $2 a month, like $5 a month or whatever. That
Mhm,
exists. There are definitely a whole bunch of resources that are a lot cheaper than you think.
mhm.
However, I personally do not. I'm not like pay. I'm sorry, I'm not paying for them. Like I will do it on my own.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair. Like
Like no, thank you.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, next question. How often do you stream, and does it change due to the fact that you are working?
Yeah, so I stream about, like, once or twice a week. It does it change? Like, a little bit sometimes. Like, I for the first couple weeks that I was starting when I was starting to stream,
Mm-hmm.
um, I was I was, sometimes only streaming once a week, and I was kind of experimenting with different days and what suited me the most.
Right.
Um, so yeah, like sometimes it does change if like there's something that come up, but like most of the time it's been stable, and I will try to take advantage of times when I'm home alone, or if people from my family are like gone and I can be a bit louder, I might play a different I might stream a completely different day because like there's no one to it's just
Right.
me. Yeah.
No, that's valid. I totally get that. For me, when it comes to like stuff, if I have to cancel, I have to cancel. So yeah. Let's see. 1 second. In an ideal world, how many days a week would you like to stream, and how many hours?
I think ideally I would love to do like 3 or 4 days a week and
Mm-hmm.
like maybe 3 or 4 hours, maybe a bit longer, depend if it's like a special stream. Um, and the reason I say, 3 or 4 days a week and 3 or 4 hours, even though they are considered very short streams, I think if you think about like, I suppose I just want the time as well to be able to dedicate time to content creation, to like, for short form content, like, your like just the short videos or like longer videos. So imagine, your socials. If you think about it, you need so much time and like effort to do all those things, not just the content part, but also like
Right.
managing your social media.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so hard. All of it's like, oh, so much work, and you're just like, okay, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, yeah. Like content creation is like it takes up a lot more time than people think because people consume the video in like 2 to 3 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and like whereas we might not be aware of how many hours, God knows how many hours it took to edit that video, or maybe even write the script, or
Right.
like whatever. So like content creation takes up so much time on like the side of the creator.
Yeah, it does. And a lot of people don't realize how stressful it is on them too. And that's the sad part.
Exactly. Yeah, like people don't see that yeah, like the stress is like absolutely there because, like you never know how a video will do as well. So like you could put in like the best work you've ever done that you think that you've done like really good, and YouTube goes like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
actually, no."
No, it sucks. What are you talking about,
Exactly.
me? That's
Yeah,
literally how it
exactly.
works. So yeah, I totally get that, and you're just like really frustrated about it, and you're just like, oh, great. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's definitely something that a lot of people definitely struggle with.
Exactly, yeah.
All
Um,
right. So, next question, if I can just if you had the opportunity to, would you like to become a full-time content creator?
um, actually, I think a lot of people, well, I'm not sure, maybe people feel the same way as I do, but, like, honestly, it's a no for me,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason for that is just because, like, unless you are very, very big, it's not really a steady paycheck if you think about it,
Right.
like, for me, and yeah, it's not a very steady paycheck. It really just depends on, like, who comes into your streams and how many people decide to sub if they wanted to. And
Right.
another reason is because, like, in a job, you work your 9 to 5, but then you're done after 5, right? You can just leave your job
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to worry about your job. But
Mm-hmm.
I think that because you're a content creator, you inadvertently become a bit of a public figure, whether you like it or not, and you have to
Yeah.
be on all the time, have to be on social media. And, like, social media is very insidious in the way that, like, you get notifications, you might see people commenting on your stuff, or you see, like, the app, telling you, oh, here's your analytics for the day or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can't leave content creation, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And it's like
Yeah.
your life is constantly being surrounded by numbers, and it just gets a bit tiring after a while, you know?
Yeah, tiring. I imagine it's very stressful too, like, because the thing is that too is that, like, you are at the mercy of, not necessarily, like, you're at the mercy of the people and of, like, the algorithms, I suppose.
Yeah.
And whereas a job is just a job. Like, you just do your
Mm-hmm.
set tasks and you're done for the day. Whereas, like, in content creation, I don't know, you can't leave your work, and and you have to be very, I think, content creation, like, you have to have a very, like, entrepreneurial mindset to be very good at it, because you have to be willing to hustle and have, like, different sources of income, which
Yeah.
I think a lot of content creators do have.
Yeah, because you have to be like on Twitch, you have to be on Twitter, you have to be on Instagram, everything and everything. You don't have a choice. Like, oh, it's a
Yeah,
lot.
exactly. Yeah, there was an article that I read. It was about an influencer it was an Instagram influencer who moved on from being
Mm-hmm.
an influencer to, like, just a normal social media manager job. And the reason she left the influencer job and her influencer job, I suppose, was because she was always bombarded with comments. There was people, like, obviously, like, sometimes it kind of got to her, and she felt like she couldn't go off. She couldn't leave her
Yeah.
job as an influencer. And I think that's why I wasn't keen on, like, the idea of content creation. It's fun, but you have to be, it's a lot of, it seems kind of, like, stressful, and I think it takes a certain type of person to be resilient
Right.
and prepared for, like, all its challenges.
Right.
Mhm.
And that's just it. Like, some people don't realize that it's just there's so much, and you need to be able to balance that. You need to be able to take a step back and just breathe.
Exactly. And sometimes, like, if it feels like, as well, if you take a break, sometimes people leave you.
Yeah.
They will find someone else to fill their time with. And if you are not streaming, if you are not on Twitter or whatever, if you so someone else will be at the top of their mind and you
Mm-hmm.
won't be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I kind of mean about, like, you have to be on all the time, which is hard.
When we playing
Yeah.
something together when this happened?
hmm
I
That's
love
that's
when ads on my own Twitch just show up.
for yourself.
Yeah, and it just started playing. I'm like, that's not what I wanted. Thank you, Twitch, but okay. It's like if I click on my own page, it'll show me my own ads, and I'm like, you have fun with that. um, so, what is the ideal form of content you would like to make as a content creator?
um I think ideally, this is something that I think something related to, like, writing, but to be honest, I'm not really sure what that is yet. But I think like something like related to writing would be kind of like fun to do as a content creator. And I
Right.
think yeah, that's kind of like what I think anyway. I have seen people though who are like they are content creators, like they stream and stuff, but they write scripts too. So that has like piqued my interest. Hmm.
I like storytelling and voice acting, so script writing is actually great because you can write scripts and voice actors will literally froth all over you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, especially if you're able to write scripts that not even just like it doesn't have to be NSFW, like SFW scripts are something I struggle to find, and I would love another creator that did scripts. Like that would be so helpful when it comes to making my voice acting videos that I do.
Rainer, you know what's funny?
Mm-mm.
I've genuinely thought of writing safe for work scripts.
You should. You should. You can, even if they get popular enough, make it like part of your Patreon or something, and like have different
Mhm.
tiers. And even if you get more demand for it, you could have a different tier for NSFW scripts within,
Mhm.
the reason why it's
Yeah.
behind a paywall is they have to agree that they're 18 so you don't get in trouble. Because children
Oh yeah.
exist.
Oh yeah. They do. They do. But yeah, that would be the ideal form of content writing, maybe like scripts and stuff like that. So there's not that many people who do scripts anyway, based on what I have seen,
I've
especially like
seen only
safe
one
for
or
work.
two. Yeah, a lot of them
Yeah.
are NSFW, and I am so uncomfortable saying it that I would just prefer like SFW things.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like so I don't really want to write NSFW. I don't think it's my brand. And also because I'm in a relationship, so let's not.
Yeah. Plus, also a lot of those NSFW audios, unfortunately, are not allowed on YouTube. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they don't
That's
realize it. And you're like, I can't post this. If I had a Patreon, sure, but I don't, and I'm not making one. So.
yeah, no. Like yeah, so maybe there's a niche that needs to be filled and I figured it out.
Yes, do it. Do it. I will like retweet every script. All right, next question. Is there any advice you want to give anybody? Oh, sorry, wrong question. Is there any advice you'd give to yourself from when you started out? Like when you just started?
When I just started, oh my god, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but like just starting, just do it. Like I procrastinated so much over streaming that like it took me such a long time to kind of I was procrastinating on like getting a PC because I was just nervous about streaming. And I remember the relief that I felt when on that Saturday night I actually like streamed and it wasn't even that bad. It was actually fun.
Oh,
And
that's awesome. I love
yeah.
that.
So yeah, I think like, don't wait. Just start and not just start streaming, but like don't be afraid to be active. If you are comfortable, like be active in like the different like servers.
Right.
And because like honestly like starting is just half the battle with, content creation. Like, like there's what's the point of like having ideas if you're not going to execute them? Someone else is going to do it. And yeah, that's just the advice. Just start. Like if you're out there and you're hesitant, like just start. Just do the
Yeah.
thing.
Just do
You'll
it.
be fine. Yeah. Do it. I'll be in your walls to make you do it. Don't don't.
Just like I wake up. Oh, hello there. You're just on my ceiling. I mean,
I
that
am.
is my location on Twitter. If you like go to my profile and like it says location, it just says your closet,
Oh.
and I have no regrets. It's been like that for like the whole time I've had that account. I've either been on someone's ceiling or in someone's closet.
We love to see it. You're here to motivate. You're here to motivate the creators that come. They need to just start.
just like opens their closet. Are you streaming today?
Are you streaming today? You have like a little like spray gun, like a
Literally.
water gun. You're just like, I'm threatening
Literally.
you. This is a threat.
This is the trap. All right. So, next question is there any advice you want to give anybody out there who's listening or watching this later on in the VOD, or who is just starting out as a content creator?
Okay, yeah, I have a couple of things that I'm sure we can discuss this as well as I go through them. But
Mm-hmm.
like, I think first and foremost, and I was told this as well because my partner used to be a streamer beforehand. He was very casual though, and literally he said like, literally like, don't get like start small and start very low cost because you need to figure out if you like streaming first, because you see a lot of creators who, they're very excited and they invest in like the L2D models, they have like the overlays, the art, they get a better
Yeah.
PC for this,
Mm-hmm.
and then figure out, oh, I don't actually like streaming. So it can be kind of like a waste of money. So honestly, like, don't get overexcited and like spend your money now. Like, start
Mm-hmm.
small, start low cost if you can, and you can always invest later if you like what you're doing, you
Yeah.
know?
I
Yeah.
agree with that. I don't think that anyone should be spending thousands upon thousands of dollars on anything for streaming unless, like, let's say you save up money for a gaming PC. That's what you want. You want a good gaming PC. Bam. Like, but then
Mhm.
you can use it for streaming as well. That's okay in my opinion. But if you're just
Mhm.
buying a $1,000 model animated lore video and only to quit 3 months later because it's not for you, it's such a waste of money. And also, I feel so bad for that artist who spent so much time on that only for it to just get deleted or thrown in the trash. So like, really try.
Exactly.
You can use P Crew. It's free. There are models that are customizable if you really want to pay for, like, they're like $50. You can do Vroid, that's free, and customize it that way. There are so many
Mhm.
different ways to customize and do content creation for free first. And if you genuinely like it and get a lot of support and start growing and you know you're going to continue for at least a year or so, then maybe invest a little bit into a model or something, you know?
No, I agree with that. Like, my thing is a pit crew. Like, my little model with the implied body, it's a
Yeah.
pit crew.
And yeah, and it's free to use as long as you're crediting the artist properly. I don't see a point in that. Just, like, you're taking the time to use a free resource. Like, this background was made in Canva. Simple as that.
Mm.
My thumbnails are all made in Canva. Like, except, like, I take, like, all of my stuff, my schedules are made in Canva. I had commissioned stuff later on once I had gotten bigger because I knew I was continuing, but, like,
Mhm.
you can make panels in Canva, you can make banners, you can make pic profile pictures. Jesus Christ, I can't talk. You can make almost anything and everything for free in Canva. There's
Oh my
also,
god.
I think it's
Mhm.
paint my portrait my wall or something. Poster my wall is free as well. You can do that.
Mhm.
That one's also an option. Um and they have so many cool things, even animated things. So like all of that's super free.
No, I agree. Like, honestly, like, just figure out first if you like streaming, because especially because like y- some people do get discouraged, seeing low numbers too. So it's so like, if you also can't get through that phase, like, did
Mm-hmm.
you and you spent all this as well, like, that's kind of an issue as well, because, well, then you spent all this money and then it turns out it's not for you for whatever reason, or if
Mm-hmm.
you're discouraged by numbers, then yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's always a struggle. So yeah, I totally agree with that. Any other
Ooh.
advice you'd like to give?
Other advice, and one thing that I wrote down was that I said that growing in streaming, I think, is like a marathon. It's not a race.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my philosophy, well, maybe this works for me. This works for me, but maybe it may work for other people. But take it one viewer and one follower at a time. Like, I think if one person followed me, if one person viewed me, that's a win in my book.
Hey, look, there are some streams where I have one person, maybe two people in my chat with as many followers as I do. But I don't care. Like, that number, it's off. I don't care.
Mm.
I appreciate all of my lurkers. I appreciate every single person who comes in and follows and joins. Like, just be yourself, have fun, and like vibe, and don't care about those numbers, and it'll be so much more fun.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like the numbers are also off for my streams, and I don't really look at my numbers anyway. Like I try not to. It's just because like I think like numbers can really kind of like consume you as well.
They do.
And there was this video. I don't know. Are you familiar with Super Eye Patch Wolf?
No,
He's
I
like,
am not.
oh, okay. So he's also an Irish content creator, but he had this video. It's called Influencer Courses Are Garbage, The Dark Side of Content Creation. It's a very long video, but it's really good. And I watched it before I started streaming. And there was this section of the video that really resonated with me because he talked about how in YouTube, I believe that YouTube ranks your videos. So like if you have so like they will tell you if your video did bad compared to this video, and
Yeah.
they make you look at your analytics. And what was really interesting was how he discusses it as well with other content creators how um
Yeah.
looking at your analytics is addictive. And he poses this question, and I kept thinking about it because I noticed it with Twitch too. Was that who benefit because the analytics give you all sorts of information. There's so much numbers, and one of the questions that I had in my head was that like, what do I actually get out of it? Like, yes, you can, you can analytics is important in a sense that like if you want to test something out to see if it works or it doesn't. But there was also a part of me that was kind of like, God, like they really like they really make you feel bad
Yeah.
if you do bad,
Yeah.
if you don't do as good. So I just had this thought and I was like, do they really help me or does it actually help the platform that I'm in? Because hey, if I stream, they made more money off of me because they can run ads on my stream.
Right.
And and I and it also just made me realize that like it can be very addictive to look at them. So I my suggestion has always been like, yeah, don't look at your numbers because like it can consume you and it can be very insidious because you will yeah. That's just what I think anyway with like numbers and stuff. Like don't get me wrong, they're cool but it's also
Yeah.
it's not like a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's not a sprint to like who can throw the fastest or
Yeah.
yeah.
I definitely resonate and agree with that. Just turn the viewer count off and the follower account off. Hell, I even have my subscriber count off because it's as I appreciate subs, love subs. However, I'm not focused on them. The only thing that is on is how long my stream is, my bit rate, and when my ad is gonna go off so that I can run a small ad break if necessary so it doesn't do like a 4-minute ad break to ruin everybody. Um
Mhm.
but like
Yeah, no.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely don't focus on that. I even don't recommend looking at those videos that say, do this and it'll grow your YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers. I have tried every single one of those hacks and it doesn't work.
Mhm.
None of them do. Do you want to know why? Because they're all fake and they're all eye grabbers. They don't work. They're all
Mhm.
content creation is 45% work and 65% luck, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
Yeah.
even a 50-50 balance. It's less work, more luck. Yeah, one video goes viral, all of a sudden your career is set. Your videos don't go viral, you're never gonna get over maybe 10,000 subscribers in 5 to 10 years. That's just how it
Mhm.
is.
Yeah, like I think it just really varies on like the person.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I should send you this video. I think you might find it interesting
Yeah,
because of your what you
after
said.
stream, you can definitely send it to me.
Nice, nice, I will. But it's just yeah, like I'm not like focused on numbers. It's just because like I know myself that I would probably end up getting upset, if something just, you know, if it doesn't work out or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I think another like piece of advice that I kind of had, I think it was just I think I said come into streaming and content creation and actually expect nothing in return,
Mm-hmm.
which sounds I don't know, I hope it doesn't sound like mean or anything, but I think a lot of the time there's this expectation that if you stream more, if you do this or that you are kind of owed something. And sometimes it doesn't happen, like people have their own thing happening in their own lives, and people cannot always like lurk on your streams or whatever, even if though you're doing that for them, or even just putting yourself out there doesn't mean that people will immediately like flock to you. And I think sometimes that's in people's heads, that
Yeah.
they want something will happen because they put themselves out there.
Yep. And that's something that I think hits people pretty hard. Like, they don't understand that sometimes you can follow creators, they're not always gonna follow you back. And dear God, do not follow and unfollow them every day. That will get you blocked. I have had a person do that for 3 months straight. They would unfollow me and follow me and then ask me why I didn't follow them back, and I'm like, because I don't like your content. You're not interesting enough to me right now. It's not that you're a bad content creator. You're just not catching my eye, and also you have been spam following me, so it just makes me not want to follow you more. So don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that just because like I've seen people say that, oh, but like I'm nice to people and stuff. But yeah, but that doesn't mean that people will want to see you.
Exactly.
Like don't get me wrong, like you can be like nice, you can be personable or whatever, but like it doesn't like people have their own thing too. Like you can't expect people to just like lurk on your stream or start chatting with you or whatever. So
Yeah.
I think people need to come in and understand that people don't owe you anything here, and people will come if they like you, but that takes time. That takes, time and effort.
Yeah, because you can't just go live with an anime girl model and expect that you're going to get popular just because you have big honkers. Sorry.
Exactly.
You might have a hit tweet or maybe a hit video, but you're not going to get the subscribers or the followers that you want just from that. You need to have an actual personality and not just, ooh, I'm a girl and I have boobs.
Yeah,
It's not gonna work.
exactly.
It's not gonna work. And sometimes
like
there are content creators who get more popular off having a PNG tuber than an actual VTuber.
yeah, like I think it's just that like, yeah, I just think that there's too many people that just come in and they go like, yep, I started streaming, therefore people will come to me. Not even, you have to promote yourself, and you have to be working on your content, like on yourself for streaming, in order to start hopefully attracting and keeping people. Yeah.
And the other thing that is super important, is that you have to realize that Twitch is the worst place to be discovered. Now that they've been fixing that, I mean, with the featured clips and all that other stuff, but it's still the worst place to be discovered because there is no more hosting after you raid someone, etc., etc. Like, that isn't a thing anymore. So you need to post your VODs on YouTube. They don't have to be edited. You can just literally slap your PNG on the logo of the game and throw that on the fucking thumbnail. Like, that is your thumbnail. And go, I played this game for 6 hours, and that's it. Because you never know how many views those are going to get and how many people will come from YouTube to watch you live.
Exactly. No, like I agree with that. Like that, like you have to promote yourself some outside. It doesn't even have to be. I think starting small, even if it is just VODs, is not like it's a good start. Some people don't do it, so I do.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, go finish.
No, sorry.
No, you're good.
It's funny because I'm like, hey, promote yourself, and like I really need to like do stuff outside of Twitch too. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is constantly promoting yourself on Twitter, like being on Twitter, and please, for the love of God, if I follow you on Twitter, that doesn't mean I'm gonna follow your Twitch. There's a difference.
Exactly.
I hate that people expect that. I did a poll recently asking why people. I definitely I did a poll and I was curious to see whether people could find other people's Twitches. Was it a discoverability issue, or was it just I don't want to click on it? I don't know that they have one, or I'm not a Twitch person. I wasn't fishing for things. I was curious, and a lot of people just didn't find their links, and I'm like, put your link in your bio. Don't put a link tree, just your main streaming platform in your
I agree
bio.
with that. I agree with that.
Jeez.
Because if you think about it, um, like you have to make so okay. I have a theory in my head. It's not. It's if someone is new and they're trying and you let's say there's someone new on one side and you are on the other side trying to be discovered, you have to make the journey to be discovered as easy as possible for that person.
Mm-hmm.
So so in that case, yeah, please like put your Twitch link there. Like if they like you, they will follow you. If they will follow you on Twitter, and if they are genuinely, like they might find it a bit annoying if they have to go through like a link tree, if you know they if they are just interested in just your Twitch.
Yeah, also
So
the amount of times I've like gone to someone's page, I'm like, oh, I love their content. And then they don't have a link tree, they don't have a Twitch, and their first 3 tweets are not a schedule or their Twitch link. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna follow them now because I'm not taking the time to search you. It's people's attention spans like my own are shitty. We don't have the attention span anymore, so like we're not gonna do that. So that's why I'm recommending that, put it in your bio. Like it's super easy to do so.
I agree. Like it's free. It's free too. Like it's not like so
Yeah.
yeah. You have to make the journey, you know, to your discoverability like as easy as
Mm-hmm.
possible. So yeah, like yeah, that's kind of like what I think anyway. Oh, I have like so many points. Like
No worries. There is someone who did mention in the chat. Normally, I wouldn't read the chat, but this is a great point. It is a big part of the streaming. Is definitely your personality. Most viewers are here to get away from the stress in their life, and if the streamer is just someone who nags and complains about not having enough followers, they're not having enough subscribers, people aren't gonna want to come back. Like it's just
mhm.
if you come into a stream, the first thing you hear is, why aren't you following me yet? You're just like, all right, bye. Like, I ain't watching this. Like, go away.
Yeah, just it is just a bit of a turn off, like don't be begging. People will do it out of their own volition. And
Yeah.
you have to also kind of ask yourself, why why don't these people then want to? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a rough question to ask yourself, but it's a good question to also ask yourself. If you are not getting the views that you'd like, why is that? So,
Yeah. And it could just be, oh, you aren't doing a game they like that day, or oh, you stopped playing that game that they enjoyed, so they unfollowed you. I totally get that. And that's just another big part of content creation. People come and go.
oh yeah.
Nobody is gonna stay forever. Except for the one or two people who started out with you and are there forever. Of the one person in my chat who's like atrociously hoarding their points, and I'm scared of for what.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. People will absolutely come and go, even if they've been with you. Sometimes like they find someone else because you're not the vibe anymore. They might only be into like small streamers and now you're big and then now they don't want to talk,
Yeah.
now they don't want to hang out with you. And that happens and that's perfectly fine. It is what it is, like with stuff like streaming and like
Mm-hmm.
content creation. People outgrow you and there will be people who then there might then be more people who might go, oh, I like that person. So
Exactly. And another thing that you need to realize is that I watched Point Girl for 2 years. I
mhm,
subscribed to him with my Prime membership for 2 years.
mhm,
I personally don't watch him anymore. His content was not as interesting. I'm not
mhm,
in It's not for me. It's not that he's a bad content creator. I'm just not interested. When I was
mm,
younger, I used to like Mr. Beast. I don't really like his content anymore. I'm not saying he's a bad person. His content's fantastic when he's donating to people, whatever. I'm just not interested. I hardly
mm,
watch Jacksepticeye anymore, and I watch Markiplier because I love his FNAF stuff and Iron Lung is coming out, but your tastes as you get older change. You will not like things that you did 5 years ago. It's just how
mm,
it works. Like, I don't like Barbie dolls anymore, like I used to when I was 5. I don't really like My Little Pony anymore, like I used to when I was 8. Your tastes change as you grow up, and also people can introduce you to things that are more interesting than what you're watching now. So don't feel bad that
exactly.
somebody leaves because you're constantly changing as a creator too. Because, for an example, for 6 months you could play only Genshin Impact, and then all of a sudden switch games, and you will lose all the people you have, but gain a huge amount of new people. Like, it's just how it works.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like you will, because you also change. People will then leave, but then there might be more people that might actually like that. Like they might
Exactly.
go. Like an example is again going back to my favorite creator, RT Dame. He only played TF2 for like years and years, and then he took a risk and decided that he wanted to do variety content, variety streaming. And there were people who told him, "You won't make it. I don't," and started leaving. But it paid off because he blew up during around like 2019, 2018, 2019,
Right.
and like he wasn't people's vibes anymore for some people, but like look at how he grew, and he's like pretty big creator like now on YouTube and Twitch. So like yeah, you will change and you will grow, and people, like you said, people come and go because you're not the vibe anymore, but you might be someone else's vibe.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of content creation. And so yeah, with that, if there isn't any other, is there any other advice you would like to give?
um I think I just kind of said like have something and or someone who can ground you and like keep you away from beach. And also like yeah, I think just someone who can ground you and maybe like stop you with like really reality, let's just say.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important that people can temper you and temper your expectations. And not in, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that in like, hey, don't spend your money all on art.
Yeah.
you know?
Totally. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Having that one person who's super grounding is like, even people is awesome. So, with that, our very last question, is there any projects you're working on or something that you're extremely proud of? Proud of that
Um
you want to brag about? And did you have any other socials other than, oh, you do, you gave me everything. Perfect. I can give you a shout out with your
oh,
social
perfect.
links. Here is, that is, you just gave me your Twitter. You just gave me Twitter. You didn't give me your Twitter.
Oh, did I not give you my Twitch?
No, you gave me your Twitch. It's just Twitter's homepage.
Oh, let me just reset.
No, I have it.
Oh, you did. Okay,
I went to
perfect.
your Twitch. So
Oh,
here
perfect.
is Sunny's Twitter if you want to check out her content, and then I will give you a shout out.
Thank you, thank you. I own Twitter now. That's just how it is. I was in Elon
Let's
Musk's,
go.
wall. So yeah.
You stole the company from him. So yeah, if
Yes, I
there's any
did.
achievements you'd like to talk about or projects that you're working on, feel free to brag.
I don't have any projects at the moment. Like I just haven't had the time, I suppose, like I said earlier for
Valid,
stuff.
valid.
But I did reach 100 followers, I think.
Oh,
Um
congratulations!
thank
That's
you.
huge.
Thank you. I reached it like I think was it Friday? Oh no, was it? Yeah, it was Friday. What am I saying? It was like last night, and yeah, it was pretty big for me. So that's kind of
Yeah,
like what.
that's awesome. That's a huge milestone. Congratulations.
Thank you. Like I appreciate all like the lurkers and like the followers and like everyone who has like subbed to me somehow, like gave gift subs and stuff. Like it's wild that people want to pay.
Oh,
But anyway,
that is awesome.
but yeah, that's kind of like it really. Like it was really fun being here.
Oh yeah, well the last thing is would you want to open up the chat if anybody's interested in asking you any questions?
Oh yeah, please. Like if they're interested,
Yes, if
feel
anybody in the
free.
chat who is lurking would like to ask any questions, we'll give you about 2 minutes to respond. And then if not, Sunny, if there's someone you'd like to raid, you can send me their link in our Discord DMs. Otherwise, I can raid a person of my choice. It is up to you.
Oh, okay. I don't have anyone in particular that I want to raid, so that's dealer's choice, I suppose, for you then.
Sure. I know someone who is live and absolute sweetheart, so we can do that after we wait a few minutes to see if anybody has any questions.
Oh, nice, nice. You know what should be you should put on? Do you know what's the name? It was like I had it in college, but we used to do it for quizzes. Oh my god. What's that like? It was very stressful. The music was very stressful.
Oh.
I can't remember the name now because it would have been funny if you just put that on the background just to like pressure people like, yes, tell me. But yeah, like this was fun though. I liked
Yeah.
talking.
So I guess since there are no questions, we are going to go to our ending soon screen. Thank you so much all for coming. Thank you so much for being on the show, Sunny. If you would like to be on the show yourself, please join the Discord server, and currently pinned in the announcements channel after you verify is a form to fill out. This is not guaranteeing you a spot on the show, but remember this show is focusing on content creators who are either in school or work a part-time or full-time job or both while still making content creation. That being said, you can also check out the VOD channel where this will be posted shortly, and my YouTube, as well as my socials. And thank you so much all for coming, and we are gonna raid the Sweetheart Fubuki. She's super sweet, and I love her model, so please go ahead and join that raid, and then I will see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. EST for an escape room simulator with some friends.
Thank you so much, guys.